blowpipe, holding that pressure, my thumb. Go back and coach that along with a little bit more heat. Not convinced I have an airway developed in that glass yet. I'm going to go back and heat up that core where I have that color at. Need that core to be hot enough that I can expand a little air bubble in there. Kind of cooling off the surface of that glass starting out. Waiting to see that bubble expand here. I'm just holding that pressure against the glass inside that furnace that allows that bubble to inflate. It had quite enough heat where the glass was on the very inside where that bubble was developing. Shake that glass on this metal table a bit. I'm just kind of cooling the surface of that bubble down. I'm going to go back and encase everything. Clear glass on top. I'm done adding the color for now. But as that glass cools down, you'll be able to see the stripes in it from this mold that I dipped it into earlier. I dipped it in there twice and kind of twisted it so that should give sort of a spiderweb pattern on that glass. That glass is called silver opal. There's a little bit of silver nitrate, tin, iron, and zinc added to get its specific color, which turns different every time you use it, so there really is no consistency necessarily. A lot of typical colors that comes out are blues, greens, and purples. So this is pretty solid at this point. Go back and cover that up without worrying about twisting or collapsing that bubble. You get a block that's going to fit into. You want to have a little more glass to work with. That into this block, kind of cool off the surface of that glass I just added. Now as this outer layer is being cooled off, that interior bubble is heating up from that last gather I got on there. I'm going to need to go back to the furnace and milk that in just to soak heat on the core so I can start to inflate that bubble. Shake that a little bit. Go back and get a nice deep heat in that glass. So that pad I'm using is a Kevlar soaked in graphite. On the inside of that there's a wet newspaper that really acts as a really nice shaping tool. Just a barrier between our hands and the glass. Shaping that tip into more of a point, I'm going to cool that tip off on this metal table called an arbor. Arboring that tip just to leave that bottom thicker. Alright, so I'm pulling heat out of that tip so I can inflate the glass back by the blowpipe. So I'm going to kind of let this stretch out. That's going to thin out the glass next to the pipe so I can cut in a line. That line's called a jack line. That'll be my break-off point here in a little bit. I'm going to go back and smooth out that surface with that paper again. Constantly cooling that tip to leave that bottom a little bit thicker. Using this Kevlar graphite to keep everything straight. Draw heat out of that tip. Alright, now at this point I can let that glass stretch off the blowpipe. Had a little inconsistency in that bubble I needed to take care of before I went much further. This time I'm going to let that glass get hot enough it's just going to almost run away out of control and drip off the blowpipe by the angle that I hold it. Holding it down is going to allow it to grow longer. Holding it level is just going to kind of keep it the same. Kind of slowly watching that glass stretch off the pipe before it gets too far away. Pull that tip and slow it down. Let that stretch some more.
Last one, please.
Cut in that line where I want this to break off the blowpipe. Need a nice tight groove in the glass just past the end of that pipe. Alright, let's go heat everything up again. I wouldn't mind tightening that groove a little bit. Get everything hot again here. Pull that tip off. Do a bubble. Tighten up that jack line. Okay. Now it's about time to flatten this bottom out. I'm just going to heat the tip of that bubble. I'm just going to cap my thumb in the, or hand on the pipe so that it can sag back into more squat form. A little bit more drastic shape. It's going to help me out with that paddle. I'll try to work on the sides as he flattens that bottom. Yeah.
Did he ever do that to you? I think he did all that stuff to me because I think he realized I didn't care. Man, so why did he bust it off the whole time? I don't care.
I'd like to sharpen that angle up just a little bit more here. So we're going to do that one more time.
You ever do the blowpipe thing too yet?
What's that? I guess not.
I did. Josh looked down.
Oh, okay.
saucer shape. That would be irritating.
Right before you started.
All right, we got that bottom flattened out. Now we're just turning it around and work on the top.
Good people know how to talk about it. I realize I didn't try. Yeah, right.
So I've got that center point mark with the soapstone. It's making an attachment so we can break this off the flow pipe. Give that a touch.
Yeah.
A little bit of water up here to that jack line and a tap. And we break that free of the blow pipe. Alright, now the next step is open up that sharp jagged edge and we'll add a handle. No, I don't. I'll just open it and make it a little bigger. I just want to heat up that top section. So this is going to be a little oil bottle, so I need to measure that opening. That way I have a specific diameter, so we can put a little stopper in it. We can pour your olive oil or vinegar out. So after I get that opened up to the right size, we'll add a handle to it.
There they are.
We're going to go ahead and trim that glass really thin. Stretching that and kind of pulling it out, it's going to thin that opening. We're going to come back and cut it after I get that nice and hot again. What are you in this?
Yeah, I'm a coordinator. I'm a coordinator.
Alright, I've got that top line. I'm going to kind of cool it off a little bit before we begin cutting it. Widen that out slightly. And then get there with these scissors. Give it. Now I need to fire polish that sharp, jagged edge from the cut smooth.